Hello and welcome back everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about how you can use the Node.js and Express to creating a simple RESTful API in 5 minutes. In this video, I will show you how you can create a RESTful API using Express in just 5 minutes. We will be creating a bunch of APIs like using get method, post method. We will be having an API that will return a list of users, and also we can add the user. So we will have no database, no complicated setups, and it is perfect for the beginners. So let's get start into it. So guys, I have opened this REST API folder in the VS Code. You can create a directory and open it in the VS Code. Now let's set up the Node.js project. We will be using the simple JavaScript, so it will be easy for the beginners. So npm init, that's why. So here we have created the package.json file. Now let's install the Express. So Express is a library or package that will help us to create a RESTful APIs. And we will install another dev dependency which will help us to restart our server whenever we made any changes. So let's install the node mode. So you can go to the package.json and you will know that we have the dependency as node mode, dev dependency, and dependency as express. Okay. Now let's create a index.js file and we will be writing all the logic in that file only. So we have this index.js file. So first of all, let's import the express. Okay. After that, let's create an instance of express. And let's set the port number as 3000. So const port is equal to 3000. So as we are using the JSON in transferring the data from the API to the client side, so we have to use the express.json middleware so that it can parse the JSON data. So app.use when you write it, it means that any request comes, okay, so use this middleware only or the function that we are passing over here. So we are passing the express.json. So it will help us to parse the JSON objects. Now let's create a simple user array. In this array, we will have the objects. Okay. In this each object, we will have the name. Let's say name is Avinash, and let's say email. Email, let's say avinash@gmail.com, and let's say password. And simply we can have another user also. In this user, let's say another name is, let's say, Darshan. So we have two users, array of two users. Now we will be defining some routes. Okay, so app. So we will be creating first get request route. So we will be saying app.get, and whenever the request comes from slash route, let's simply say a callback function over here. And in this callback, we will have two things. One would be request and one would be response. Okay, and we will say that response dot send a simple response server is run, like this. So this is the base route which we are having, as we can check the health or we can check if our server is running or no. Now let's create a server using the app. So we will say app.listen on the port number. Okay, on the port number. So we are having the port as port, and we will give a callback function also here. So we will simply say console.log server is running on port 3000. Now we will start the server. So how you can start the server? We have installed the node daemon. So we have to add some scripts over here. So we have the test script. We will add a dev script over here. So in this dev script, we will have the node daemon index.js simply, and we will have another script as start, and we will say node index.js. Okay, so we are having two scripts. Now let's run the npm run dev. So we have the, it is saying that we are having import issue. As we are using the type as common JS, we will say the module. We won't have any issues. Okay, we are using the module. Now let's go to the browser and try to hit the localhost 3000. So I'm in the browser, and as you can see, we are having the response as server is running. Now let's create another route slash users so we can get the all the data for the users. It would be a get request because we are not uh, taking any data from the client side. So app.get slash users, and here we will have the request and response, and simply we will return the response.json as the users. Okay, now let's go to the browser and try to hit the slash users route. Users, as you can see, we are having an array of users, okay, which we have defined in the in-memory database or in memory in our index.js file. Now let's create another API for the creating the user. So for creating an user, we would have a post API because we are taking the data from the client side, and from where we will access the data and we will create a new user. So let's do that. So here let's create a post route for the creating the user. So app.post, we would say users, and here we will have the same request response. Now we need the name of the user, so which should be passed in the body of the request. So we'll access that. So we'll say name as request.body. Okay, and if we are having no name, we can just simply return a response that name is required. So response.send name, name is required. Otherwise, we will, what we will do, we will say user.push a new object, okay, which would have the name, which will say as the name, and email, which would be the name plus @gmail.com, and the, let's say, password, which would be the name plus the password, let's say. And after that, we can, what we can do, we can send all the users also. So we will say response.json users, users, like this. Now let's try to hit the post request. As we are in the browser, so we cannot hit a post request directly from our browser using the URLs. So we have to go to the Postman, or even you can go to the Thunder client, or you can go to the hopscotch like this, and you can send a post request. We are using the Postman over here. So in this Postman, let's say that API slash users. Okay, and let's try to send a request. But it is saying name is required. So we have to pass the name. So where you can pass the name in the body, we have to pass the name. So in the body, we have to pass the name. So let's say name as name. Okay. Now let's try to send another request. And as you can see, we have an email and password for the undefined. So because we sent the request without the name, so it should return from here only. So it should return. So it won't go in the this section only. Now let's try to send another, and as you can see, we are having all the same things. So in the response, we are having a new user called name. Now let's change the name as a name new. So we will have the four users. You can see name new. And that's it. In a few lines of code, you have created a REST API using Node and Express. So in the next part, you can connect it with the database, and you will have the persistent users, and also you can use the proper authentication. If you need a video on the authentication, please comment it below. I will make the same. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button, and drop me a comment what you want to see next. So that's all for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one.